game, spending our change. You know what I mean? And we're going to have some fun today. As we bump our gums and talk about Father's Day, how I'm looking for my Salisbury steak, hungry man, my t-shirt, my underwear, and my socks. You know, y'all know how we get that for Father's Day. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, but it's a beautiful day to be alive. And I truly hope y'all feel the same. We had DJ Dutchy Bang in here giving y'all some great music, you know, while I got myself together, taking care of some other business here at the radio station. So it's me, the most interesting DJ in the world. So what's up, Rod? What's going on, man?
It was a long night. That's all I'm saying.
Is that what it was?
You see the dark shades?
You got the dark shades on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, hanging with Remo, the manager. You know.
Yeah.
He a little younger than me.
Yeah, right. Me and you both.
He a little younger than me.
Yeah. Me and you both. That was a great show we did last night with the Greedy Gang, though. That was a great show.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You know.
We 3 for 3, man.
Oh yeah.
Whenever we link up with Greedy Gang.
Oh well, you know the old saying. You know, you line them up, we gonna knock them down.
We batting 1,000 right now.
Absolutely. Always is, man. You know. So how was your week, man?
It was good, man. It was good. It was busy though. Busy.
Yeah, I had a busy week too, man. You know, as you know, we had to bury my brother-in-law on Thursday, so that took my whole day, and that was a sad and somber situation. But we celebrated his life, you know, and it was a movie. You know, it was a movie, and shout out to his daughter Jasmine. You know, his mother, his sister, you know. May, you know, Duke rest in peace. But again, you know, we don't know the day, the time, or the hour. We just got to be ready. You know, if we get right, we ain't never got to get left, right?
And if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's right, y'all. That's right, y'all, man. So, the weather's nice today out here in the Poconos. So nice that I had my lunch and then I had to take 15, y'all. That's a real story. Fat Boy Freshman took a break. You know, he took 15.
I hear you.
You know,
ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. Sure enough, man. So you looking forward to Father's Day tomorrow, Roy? What you doing tomorrow?
You know what? I'm gonna let them work that out, man.
You gonna let them work that out?
Yeah, man. I don't gotta stress myself worrying about what's gonna happen, man.
Well, let me ask you.
I know they do something for me.
What's your favorite Father's Day gift, man?
That's a loaded question, man.
Come on, man.
You know, they say when you get older,
Mm-hmm.
you start resorting back to your child ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm asking for PS5s and a new iPhone. Look, I'm giving them that work like they gave me growing up. You know what I mean?
You like that?
Now I'm grown now.
Yeah.
You got the new iPhones coming out.
Yeah, you might, but you might have to settle for a tie.
Tie and a brunch.
It's
okay.
some socks.
I'm not gonna get the bundle pack PS5.
No, you get the bundle pack
PS5.
PS5.
Man, with the extra joystick and the 3 games.
Nah. But you might get the China buffet though.
But I'm gonna even take it further. If I do get it, I'm gonna do the same they did to me, because they're gonna think that's gonna keep me quiet, get rid of me for a while, right? Let's give them these video games.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna lock in for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say, hey, could you come watch me play?
Come watch me play.
Not do you want to play? Not here's the extra joystick. Could you just watch me play?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Did they do all that to us?
Oh, you better know it, man.
Yeah.
You better know it.
You buy me a car. Could you watch me peel out?
Yeah.
Screw. You're like, we not going together? Screw.
Nah, it won't be none of that.
Yeah, right.
It won't be none of that.
But nah, it don't matter, man. It's like, I'm still on Juneteenth. I'm not even at Father's Day yet.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean? I'm still right here today. I'm living in this moment and sucking this all in.
Well, I wanted to get the Father's Day stuff out there because I want to salute all the great fathers that's out there, man. I wish my father a happy Heavenly Father's Day. My dad was Superman.
I second that emotion.
And hell, I've been told a few times this week that I look just like my dad, man. I said, hell, that's a compliment. I'll take that.
Hey, that's a great thing.
I'll take that.
Yo, man, it's an ugly myth out here, man. That that we not in our kids' lives and stuff like that. It's it's true in some cases, but it ain't a black thing. It's across the board. I see that in all races and all walks of life. But most of the men that's in our circle, they doing what they supposed to do, whether it's from a distance, whether they in house. They not just abandoning ship like the myth.
No, none of that.
If they was doing that, they wouldn't be in our cipher anyway, more or less.
None of that at all.
You know what I mean? They would be in a different circle. But there's a lot of stand-up cats out here, man. And,
oh, yeah.
And I'm going to even take it further. Yo, salute to the grandfathers.
Yes, sir.
Salute to the stepfathers.
That's right.
Salute to the big brothers,
Mm-hmm.
Salute to everybody, man. Salute to the big bro on the block that's mentoring kids and telling them get off the block and don't be like me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Salute to anybody that's mentoring.
That's right. Anybody that can stand up and give guidance. That's what we want to do, man.
Or even salute to the people that's saying nothing. That's just getting up every day, going to work, and just
being an example.
They seeing that, whether they saying anything or not, they seeing it.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So whatever your contribution is, man, if you taking out the garbage, man, whatever you doing, they call me the garbage man at home.
Mm-hmm. You the garbage man? I'm the hustle man.
Yeah, I don't like the garbage. Garbage bothers me, man. You know what I mean? I see garbage. You see what I be doing around here, man? As soon as I come here, I start.
Yeah, right.
Cleaning something and bagging up some garbage or whatever.
Yeah, and I guess that makes us kind of like the odd couple because I'm the messy one, you're the neat one. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I'm not like that at home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that in my car. My private space. I'm like that. What you do in your space, that's you.
My private space be messy, man. I kid you nothing, man.
Hey, listen, that's your right, bro.
Listen, you took a ride with me today in my car, man. You was lucky there was enough room for you to get in there, right?
Listen, there was plenty of room, man.
Yeah.
And you had a burger in there too. Listen, man,
yeah, right.
You my guy.
Had lunch. Yeah, I'm that guy today, right?
It's like anything else. But we can overlook certain things when your focus is somewhere else.
It's right.
You know how we do. We've been doing that. We overlook a lot of things when other things is good.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And did you pick the 2 milk creams I got in the truck out there, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna put a little smoke in the air later on with the milk creams.
Yeah, we gotta do that just for the brothers that's not here and for the fathers that's still here, man. We gotta do that.
That's right. We're gonna definitely do that, man. But big shout out to all the politicians who push for Juneteenth to become a federal holiday. And I'm so proud of that. And a big shout out to Kwanzaa Mama, who does a show right here with us on Gynesis Radio on Saturdays. Kwanzaa Mama was instrumental in pushing for a Juneteenth holiday for the state of Pennsylvania. And actually, the state of Pennsylvania signed Juneteenth into a state holiday last year. So there was a year ahead of the federal holiday. And big shout out to Kwanzaa Mama, And she had her Juneteenth program this year virtually online. And hopefully everything's opening back up with this COVID thing. And, Kwanzaa Mama can get back here into the station with us and we can go back doing everything live and in person. Virtual stuff is okay, but it's nothing like the energy of sitting in the room with people and chopping it up and vibing and talking about stuff. The one thing I'm sad about, though, as I looked around, and big shout out to Lincoln Sessoms. Lincoln gave me a call today asking, where's the Juneteenth event up here in Stroudsburg? We had everything. They had the LGQBT thing, right? Big event for that and everything else. And he said, well, what about the Juneteenth thing? There's nothing. It's quiet up here. And I said, well, you know what? It is what it is. But I think that the signing of the federal law came up on people too fast to prepare for anything. That's what I think. So I'm giving everybody in the area an out by saying that the president signed it into law, virtually a day or two before, which means it didn't give folks enough time to prepare anything. But next year, you better know it. We gonna do the daggone thing, man. You'll hear it from me here first. Genesis Radio is gonna have a nice Juneteenth event next year.
Hey, listen. We got a little minute, so we can elaborate this for a minute, cause you almost don't feel good time. This is not all TP square time. You know what I mean? We sharing a slot today.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But
that's right.
On my side of the fence, and we talked about this even last week. Sometimes you and I flow. We just flow because we have these conversations. We just naturally comfortable speaking to each other, but we got to remember that we speak it to masses. We got people all over the world, different countries and all that stuff.
That's right.
So me personally, I like to share a Juneteenth experience.
Break it down.
Something that I went through, and then I like to pass the ball to you, and I want you to actually pass the ball to you first, so you could break down what is Juneteenth. It's a lot of people that don't know what Juneteenth really is and what it's all about. So I think the C-spot running, as we say, let's just break it down.
Okay, well,
you and I know it, and there's a lot of people that do know it. A lot of our listeners do know it, but I'm sure there's some people that really don't know, the short story behind Juneteenth.
Well, in a nutshell, it was the emancipation of slaves in America, and it came right after the Civil War, and it was celebrated on June 19th because in 1866 is when the government wrote to the army went to Galveston, Texas, to let the slaves know that they were freed 2 months ago. And that was one of the reasons why that we celebrate Juneteenth. Because the reality is, the official meaning of Juneteenth is, it says President Abraham Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation of 1862 had officially outlawed slavery in Texas and other states that had rebelled against the Union almost 2.5 years earlier. Enforcement of the proclamation generally relied on the advances of the Union troops. Texas, as the most remote states of slave states, had seen an expansion of slavery and had a low presence of the Union troops as the American Civil War had ended. Thus enforcing, there had been slow and inconsistent prior Granger's announcements. So nobody let them know. Nobody made announcements and let the slaves know that they were free until the Union soldiers rode into town and enforced the proclamation of emancipation. And that was roughly 2.5 years after the slaves was freed, and it just happened to be on June 19th. And that is pretty much the significance of Juneteenth.
That breaks it down. Just to add on to the cipher, Emancipation Day is another name for Juneteenth. It's the same holiday. Emancipation Day is another name that some people call Juneteenth. They also, in some areas, they call it Liberation Day. In some areas, they call it Freedom Day. And Texas and some other southern states, they call it Jubilee Day. You know what I mean? So there's other names, but it's all the same thing. It's all the same holiday. All the same holiday. The official Juneteenth flag was red, white, and blue, displaying that all American slaves and their descendants were Americans. However, many in the black community have adopted the Pan-African flag, the red, black, and the green, and the colors represent the blood, the soil, and the prosperity of Africa and its people. And that's the little science behind that. But true story. Even growing up, I don't know if my parents didn't tell me. I didn't learn it in school. I didn't know about Juneteenth until I was probably about 18, 19 years old. I never heard of Juneteenth growing up. I didn't know until I started getting in the music industry. I was on the road with Paperboy and my man Cello, and they said we going to do this Juneteenth festival in Texas, and we got 3 dates in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm just thinking it's a show. I didn't really know what the Juneteenth festival was about, but in Texas, they knew what it was about.
They knew what it was about.
And it was a big deal. It was a big outdoor event. I'm talking thousands of people.
It's been a big deal to people in the southern states. It was the people up north who really didn't have enough information handed down about Juneteenth, you know. But in the southern states, Juneteenth was always a big thing, you know. And we grew up north, so, you know, we didn't celebrate it because nobody talked about it.
Man, listen.
There was the radio stations, just like Genesis Radio. They didn't get on the air and talk about Juneteenth because, you know, they didn't own their platform, so they had to talk about what was allowed. So to educate people on Juneteenth, you know, that was something they couldn't do.
I'm talking about. Listen, we opened up for Funkadelic.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was so huge back then.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was really like, you know, big barbecue, you know,
Mm-hmm.
strawberry soda, red velvet cake, you know, certain
Mm-hmm.
foods and colors all, you know, chimed into the theme of it. But honestly, when I came back to New York, I was excited.
And then like that Texas.
And I told people about it, my friends about it, and most of them from the city, like you said,
didn't have no idea.
You never heard about Juneteenth either.
Well, you know, Juneteenth is one of those things that you never learned in school. There's a whole lot about black folk that you just haven't heard about, like, you know, what was that, the 1690 project, or what it is, you know, that's something that, you know, you wasn't taught about in school.
Nah, never.
You know?
I didn't know. I ain't say you don't know, you don't know.
You know, they want black history to be whatever they want it to be. And, you know, they don't want to teach the actual facts to the kids because they don't want people to know because there's things to be ashamed of, you know, in regards to, you know, the so-called African American. There's things that America should be ashamed of, you know. And right now I think this celebration and holiday of Juneteenth, this is a step in the right direction, you know. But just think about what happened in Tulsa in 1921. You know, the burning down of the Black Wall Street, you know, and we talk about Tulsa, but there was another massacre out there in Oklahoma that was in a town called Elaine. You know, everybody talk about the burning down of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, but prior to that, there was Elaine, Oklahoma, where they went in there and was hunting down black men like they were going after wild boar. Or, you know, or any other game, you know, where the brothers was hiding out in the fields, you know, where the only place in America where there was a governor of a state who armed himself with members of the National Guard to go out and hunt down these black men. And the slaughter in Elaine, Oklahoma was based upon they didn't want the black businessmen to congregate together, to conspire to create a union. And they were having a meeting at a church, and they deployed 2 sentinels, that's what they called them, 2 sentinels, to watch out because they said that the word had went out, if you people, and these were farmers, if you congregate together to unionize so you can get a better price for your product, for your goods, you know, it's gonna be a problem. So they snuck and went to a church, a small church in Elaine, Oklahoma, and they was having this meeting, and then the police arrived. The story goes like this. It's two stories, and God knows what the truth is. They claim that the two sentinels fired on the police officers that came to disrupt this meeting, and one of the police officers was murdered. But the story was, from the black folks' perspective, that the police came and fired upon the church and on them, and these men defended themselves. And heck, one of them was a good shot. And one of these sheriff deputies was murdered. And I wasn't going to say murdered, he was killed in the act of committing a crime. You know, so then they had called in law enforcement, and people had come from different states all over the place, you know, and they had came down on Elaine, Oklahoma, burnt down the church, and they began to slaughter these black farmers. And a lot of these black farmers, they ran into the woods, out to the fields, into the marsh, into the swamps, and they were hiding. And the governor came down, and he brought the National Guard with him. And a lot of these black men who were hiding in the swamps and in the woods, and when they saw the army men, they came out because they thought they were there to rescue them. When in actuality, these soldiers turned their weapons on these men and killed them. You know, and the governor also, you know, fired his weapon because he said it was, you know, retribution for the white police officer being murdered, as they put it. You know, so there's so many different things that happen, you know, around this whole not Juneteenth thing, but about this whole thing about Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. But like I said, the most prevalent story we talk about is, you know, Tulsa and the burning of Black Wall Street. Meanwhile, in that whole area, there were so many descendants of slaves that moved out into what was considered Indian country. And they set up homesteads, and they created businesses, and it was prospering. You know, they had everything they wanted, and Oklahoma just happened to be the state that, you know, where they were at, you know. But hold on a second. We got a call on the line. Caller, this is the TP Square show right here on Gynesis Radio. You on the air live?
Hey, what's up? This is UGLE.
What's up, what's going on, bro?
What's up, bro? How are you?
Ain't nothing, man. We here on the air live, man, and we just bumping our gums about this Juneteenth thing, man. And I was just dropping some jewels about the massacre in Elaine, Oklahoma. You know, where most people only talk about Tulsa. You know, so.
Right. I actually that's a part of my conversation. You know, he just recently changed South Road to Speedy Airway.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Rudd mentioned that to me yesterday.
Yep, I saw
Thursday.
it. I saw it up there.
Yeah.
When we dealing with the higher science, I do want to make the brothers, you know, y'all the big homies, make y'all aware that I'm a Moorish American. So we deal with the higher science. And it's ironic that they would take, you know, so much pain that was in South Jamaica, Queens, and, you know, we know what 150th was, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
South Road and all of that, and turn it into that to keep that kind of spiritual energy around. They do that a lot with us. You know, they'll throw us a bone and they'll label it something. It's honorable, you know, but we have to look past that. That whole Black Wall Street situation is just dealing with people that understood their social and political rights, you know, and understanding, you know, contract, understanding what was constituted for us, you know, everything over the Appalachian Mountains was for us, thanks to John Hanson. So when you like you said. It's just amazing that, you know, we constructed a lot of mathematics, a lot of the currency, a lot of the trade, the bartering, trading. You know, that Constitution wasn't built for us. It was created for those pilgrims that, you know, came over here to America. You know, our people were already here. We weren't Indians. You know what I'm saying? That's something that they basically departmentalized and did the colonial thing with us. You know what I mean? And you know, it's good to hear this kind of conversation. There's a delay, so I got the phone in the other room. I just called on my other phone.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show some love.
No doubt. It's always about a minute or so delay on everything, just in case something need to be edited. You know, that's why we tell most people when you call in, turn your phone down, talk to the phone. You can't wait to try to hear yourself because there's a bit of a delay, man. But we appreciate you calling in, man, enjoying the conversation, bro. You know, when we getting you up here, man.
I'm supposed to be coming up. Well, I am coming. Not as supposed to. Let me make sure that I manifest this properly. Well, I believe we have a spot date with you guys. Next month, July 31st. But I would love to come before that. Like, I would love to see what y'all doing up there. But I'm coming up there for Mergate Entertainment. I'll be independent level. So you guys are the first one that giving us the opportunity to share what we're doing. So that's great. You guys are the first guys that give me a spot. You know what I mean? When I was recording and doing music, shout out to Hydra that never died.
No doubt.
Hydra represent.
Yes,
Word
sir.
up.
Absolutely, man. So
And you don't rush that, yes.
yeah.
I'm loving what you guys are doing, but I'll be up there, you know, if I can get up there before that, you know, we can put it together. We still got to sit down and build.
All right.
And we want to take this. I just sent Brother a record. I think last week I was in the studio. They finally got me in the studio. So I did a nice little summer record. I'm probably going to get some footage up there and play the record up there with y'all
Okay.
about that. You know,
All right. Well, look. Well, come on up next week then. Come on up next Saturday, man. How about that? Look. Hey, look. Pull up, baby. Pull up, baby. Pull up, baby. That's right. That's right. Hey. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I need a segment up there, but we'll talk about that behind the scenes.
All right. Without a doubt. All right. That's what it is.
I don't want to hold up the segment, man.
All right.
What you going is a good conversation. I just, man, I got conversations for y'all, man. I just met the top lawyer of New York City, and he's eating murder cases. I don't know how he can be proud of eating murder cases, but, you know, it is what it is. But it's a conversation I want to bring to you brothers, man, because we were talking about Breonna Taylor. I'm sorry I'm taking y'all away from what y'all doing.
Nah, talk about it, baby. Talk about it.
So, you know, I just met him. I was at the barbershop, and I met this guy, and I shook his hand. You know, I practice and study law at the law. So, I wanted to ask him, being that he's a top-notch lawyer, you know, and he's carbonated. I don't want to say melanin, because everybody has melanin in their skin. I just learned that yesterday, that we are carbonated people. We're the only ones that have carbon in our skin. So, anyway, he's one of us. And he says, I asked him, you know, what do you think about the Breonna Taylor case? And he said, oh, well, how would you feel if you was an officer and the judge had a warrant, no knock warrant, and you go in and they shoot at you? I said, I'm not talking about the experience. I'm talking about what was placed on the record. He didn't expect that from me because I'm tatted up, and you know I came from the crate, right? So he stopped. He said, well, they threw that lawyer under, prosecutor under the bus. I said, that's impossible for them to throw him under the bus when he's the one that placed it on the record. He paused after that. He paused. What they placed on the record. So he looks at me and he says, well, you know what? He said, you're right. They charged it out of existence. They charged those out of existence. I said to the bar, everybody in the shop, I said, did you like, what? I said, listen, man, they charged it out of existence. What that means is the charges that they brought up on these officers didn't match the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And what we're doing as a people, we keep going to hop and bob. No disrespect to him as an esquire or a lawyer or an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took that toll. But we can't, we all for life. We can't go to hop and bob and say, hey, you trying to get off this plantation. It's just not going to work.
Not at
So
all.
we need to know, you know, when I looked up the charges, I said, oh, this shit is not going to stick. It's saying in the definition, Black Law Dictionary, 5th edition, and anything lower, it'll have all the definitions of any charges that are coming out, right? With any word, actually, Black Law Dictionary is the maximum of the English language. They use a lot of Latin words because of the Semitic language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is don't forget this vibe real quick. Because everybody, every person on this earth should have a Black Law Dictionary and understand that we are allowed to place things on the record ourselves. We don't have to go through an attorney. We don't have to have be certified to place things on the record.
No, you don't.
This law,
You can do it pro se.
Right. So when he said it, I said, well, you just think about it. When I looked up the definition, I knew that. I said, yo, the definition is saying you can't bring after you create this charge, after you put this charge in the record, you can't come back for a civil suit. I said, damn, they sold this young lady out for a couple of dollars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just us not knowing, we don't, these benefits that they give us have nothing to do with our rights, you know, that whole experiment, that whole situation with Black Wall Street was people understanding their rights. They were whole men. You know how
That's right.
the slang, like the slang a year ago was, I got a whole man, I got a whole woman. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, y'all 3/5. Y'all all 3/5.
That's right.
You know, they heard Jimmy D say it and they thought it was something that he was saying that was slick. That's in the Constitution.
That's
You
right.
dig what I'm saying? So structuring yourself up, I can bring that to the table. Structuring yourself up, right, to understand that you can become a whole person, and all it is understanding what that Social Security card is stating and filling out that form. Because they didn't give our parents that form. They just gave us a birth certificate and a social and say, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. And what happened is it created 3/5 of a man, and it created the Black experience. You know, being Black in the agricultural codes means that we are better off. It says in the agricultural codes, a Black person is better off as fertile, like manure or something, like better off in the dirt. It says that in their agricultural codes.
Mm.
You know, we have to really, as a people, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing, obviously, because I'm walking this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm not only righteous and all of that. It's just like, for some reason, these things came to me, you know, and I'm grateful to be able to, you know, I know that it's right and exact because you're talking about it right now. I was talking about this a week ago, and I always have it in my conversation that those brothers that had Black Wall Street, those brothers were doing something, and them people, you know, they didn't like that, you know.
Not at all.
The Federal Reserve and commerce, you know,
You know, they was in control of their own destiny.
Exactly. The UCC is very important to us. You know, Uniform Commercial Codes is very important to us. The U.S. codes are very important to us. What we have to learn is the police, they deal with codes, policies, and regulations. That's not law. That's coloring of law. You understand? These things are changing. I was in Long Island for my birthday in January, and I got out to go into this little sports bar, and I happened to look in front of me. It was an actual car that said Code Enforcer. I looked at my homeboy and said, you see this car?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what? I said, what does that mean? Do you know what that means? I know what it means. You know what I mean? Because as a law, I'm a law enforcer. You know, I don't know if y'all be on my Facebook page, but I'll post every now and then. You know, that is my name. That is my appellation. You know, I changed my name, so Sali is my name. Is like I proclaimed myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
American national. You know,
Mhm.
you got a couple of brothers in the game, like in hip hop, that's done that. Most Def, he's a more.
Yes.
You just Wikipedia some of these people, and you'll notice that they don't have United States citizen. They are American citizen. You know, so if you pay attention to that, America is the only place that is named after its landmass. You
Mhm.
understand? Everywhere else has been conquered, pillaged, and colonialized. You
Mhm.
know, but I don't want to take you away from what you're doing. I just wanted to give you that bill. I'll definitely show up next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely show up next week. We're gonna have to put
Yeah,
put that together, man. Get you right up here on the show with us, on the camera, on the air live, and we could build.
I don't have any free time. You know what I mean? I day trade, so my life is actually free. I have freedom.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So.
And the women say he kind of easy on the eyes, so we need to. Ug's a little easy on the eyes for the women, so we definitely need to get him on the camera. But
Yeah.
honestly, yo, I'm so proud of you, man. Man, you got love, man. You could bring whoever you want. This is your house too, man. You helped build this house, man.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, say more. They say less. I'm gonna say more.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Man. Listen.
So I'll set it up the way we'll talk. Right? I'll hit your phone. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, man. I would love to be involved.
All right. That's what it is. So let's do that for next week, man.
All right, I just checked in. I just wanted to check in, man. Y'all keep doing your thing. Peace, love, and light.
Nah, peace,
Appreciate
man.
it,
Peace. I like that. You added a lot of value just now, man. You added a lot of value.
All right, bro. We're gonna get up with you later.
All right, bro.
All right. That was outstanding, man. That was good some information to add on to what we was talking about, man.
And that's my brother right there, man.
No doubt, man.
I'm happy to hear from him, man. I'm happy to.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad he back on the scene,
Man,
man.
I'm happy to build with him, man.
Yeah.
They say it's easy to find somebody to chill with, but it's hard to find somebody to build with.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He broke a lot of stuff down, man, and just where we was at before, I was telling you about Texas because that's where the news actually came from. It was in Texas that like 250,000 slaves, they was unaware that
Unaware that
2
they were
years
free.
ago
2 years ago
they was free. So, of course, they say the news reached Texas so late because of 3 different reasons. Some say the messenger was assassinated on the journey. Some historians believe that the report was withheld by the slave owners so they could go about business as usual and keep that labor workforce working. And we know what happened, man. Come on, man.
Of course we do.
Come
man.
on.
But you know, there has been so many massacres across the United States of America in regards to the African American.
Oh, hold on. But they say it couldn't be enforced until Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union Army and they took over. That was the third reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy.
General Lee. Huh?
All that's crazy.
Mm.
All that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all crazy, man.
It's madness, but you know what? Thank God that finally we have a national holiday, which means that it has to be talked about now in the schools. You know, it's forced upon, you know, the education system to talk about, you know, the Emancipation Proclamation and what it truly means. And, you know, slavery is officially recognized as an evil of the United States of America.
But see, I don't know this to be an actual fact, but I'm still hearing that certain states still haven't accepted it. It's pretty much out there, but it's still on a local level.
Listen,
I know the Fed is going to overrule the state.
The feds overruled the state.
They-
So what President Biden did a couple days ago sealed their fate.
You can
Just-
say that. They
just-
said the same thing
just
about
like-
Martin Luther King Day, and some states still don't recognize it as a holiday.
Well, some of them don't, right? But you, as an individual, have a right to take that day as an optional holiday.
Right.
All
Right.
You know, because look, yesterday the stock market didn't close. All right, but the banks were closed. How about that? You know, most federal systems were closed yesterday. Courts were closed, but the stock market stayed open. So it's going to take a while to get worked into the system, but let me tell you something. COVID gonna make a lot of things change because all you companies who took that PPP money, who got hit off, you're gonna follow the federal guidelines as a corporation. You know what I mean? So it's a whole lot that happens when you take federal money. Can't take them freebies. So we ain't gotta worry about that. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's kind of crazy though.
It's in time. It's coming.
It's kind of crazy, man. And look, we dealing with this since we was in school. We had a little Black Solidarity Day.
That's right.
And look, some of us just didn't go to school that Monday.
We didn't go
to
to school.
Got marked absent. Didn't care. But a lot of people still did go to school.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know who went to school on Black Solidarity Day? Solidarity Day.
Yeah, the people's parents had to work and they didn't have nobody to watch the kids.
No, it wasn't even them. It was the people who didn't have Southern roots. So if your family migrated here from the Caribbean kids with Caribbean parents, they went to school because there was a disconnect between the African American and the Caribbean American, because the Caribbeans didn't consider themselves Americans, so they didn't consider themselves a part of our struggle. When they didn't realize that, you know, at the end of the day, there was no determination if you was an African American or if you were Caribbean, because so many of them said that I'm not black, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm Dominican, I'm a what they call the Aruban people from Aruba. They have different name. You know what I mean? What they call themselves.
Don't get me. It's 5 different cultures in Aruba.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, all these people of color who are of African descent, who didn't their family lineage didn't start, in their opinion, on the shores of the United States. They don't consider themselves black. So when we had Black Solidarity Day, and because your family was from the South, and they had roots from the South, we knew what it was to get together and bond together. Where, again, Willie Lynch, the Caribbean said, I know black. I'm Jamaican. I'm this, I'm that. No, you were just a different stop on the slave ship on its way to America. You were just a different stop. You know, they had to change, they had to barter for supplies to continue the journey, and some of you slaves were just part of that transaction. So some of y'all were dropped off on the way. So, and that's the problem with solidarity with black folks, because there's so many people who have these divisions amongst the melanin people, you know, that we don't recognize who we are as a people. You know, we can't go back to say that, you know what, first and foremost, we were already here to a degree. They only added to the descendants of Africa through the slave trade, because we were already here. And if you look down into Louisiana and in those areas like that, there were already structures similar to the pyramids that's in Egypt, you know, which tell you what? The same people that built those built these. You know what I mean? And look who's over there. And look who's over here. So, and if you did research and they showed you photographs and images and descriptions of the so-called Native American, the Indian, well, a lot of them look like us. They described us. So therefore, what does that tell you? We were already here. So in that passage from Africa to the Americas, all those little islands were stops that boats made along the way. Some prior to the slave trade, and most definitely during the slave trade. So, but that's another conversation. I don't,
So they was half Indian. They didn't have to do gorilla glue to get the baby hair.
Nah, they didn't have to wear lace fronts with the baby hair.
But black lashes didn't matter back then.
Yeah. Black lashes don't matter. Eyelashes don't matter. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Usually we be on some bits and giggles, but you know what? We can't just squander this opportunity and this platform just all on shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have intelligent conversations. And
Absolutely.
And one thing I did like about the bill that we just had with our brother is that he kind of C-spot run the situation too. He didn't say it in a term that you couldn't understand. He broke it down. You know what I mean? He broke it down where you can understand it. You know what I mean? He ain't try to hit you with a bunch of razzle dazzle. You know what I mean? Some people just try to hit you with the razzle dazzle.
No razzle
You know what I
dazzle.
mean?
No razzle dazzle.
Nah, this ain't the razzle dazzle show, man. We don't do that here at Gynesis. You know what I mean? We just shoot straight from the hip. And like we say, we just regular guys from down the block.
That's right. When you hear what you love what you hear.
Listen, man, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm always excited, man. When it's time to turn up, I'm ready.
I'm always ready, man. I'm looking to see what we're putting on here for DJ Hot Sauce coming up next year.
DJ Hot Sauce in the building.
Yes, sir. Hot Sauce is coming up next. And we're going to continue some of our dialogue. Next week we're gonna get Ugg up in here, and we're gonna build on a whole lot. A whole lot we're gonna build on. We gotta utilize this platform for, to build up our people, to build up everything, to put the right information out there for people, so that we are anti-nobody. We're very inclusive in our conversation and what we talk about. We just like to put out good information,
And we like to hit you with the funk. We like to we still gonna hit you with the bangers. You still gonna hear what you need to hear. You know what I mean? So
and
we're gonna give you a little balance. We gotta give you a little balance.
Yeah, DJ Dutchy Bang did his thing today, but Dutchy Bang played all that trap music, man, on the TP Square show.
He played a little bit of pop. He played a little bit of. He mixed it up. He mixed it up.
He mixed it up. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. I'm just saying,
Look, where else you get paid for taking a 15? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
He was on the clock taking a 15.
I'm taking a 15. Hey, listen.
Only at Gynesis.
Right? Hey, listen. Ain't for nothing, man. That's what happened when you have creative control, right? of what you're doing, and that there's no bosses.
Did he say the CC word?
Yeah. There's no bosses. When look, we own the platform. And guess what, Rod? You was right there with me, man. Look.
Listen, man.
We had lunch before we started work, man. You know what I mean? We had lunch before we started work.
I thought you was my man.
Did I just snitch? Or did I dry? Was that a snitch or a dry snitch?
No, it was a cooperation.
Yeah, okay.
It's not snitching. It's cooperating.
Yeah, I'm a cooperator. So.
But Dutchy had some too.
Dutchy had some too, right?
We had the box.
Yeah, we got the whole box. Dutchy had some too.
We had the box.
That's right. So you know what happened when you eat lunch?
Yeah.
You get the itis, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we let Dutchy Bang play the music, and then we did things in reverse today. Instead of bumping our gums first and let DJ Dutchy Bang rock out with the music, we let him rock out with the music, then we came in and bumped our gums. You know what I mean? But look, y'all, it's been a pleasure. It's time for DJ Hot Sauce to take over, so y'all sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. I want to say thank y'all for joining us, and we're going to see y'all next week. We're going to have my man Ugg up in the building, and we gonna be off to the stars. We gonna hit him in the head with a 2 puff head bust. You know what I mean? So we'll see y'all next week, man. Peace out, y'all.
Peace. Nah, easy on the eyes, man. Girls love